Episode 452 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic is live, and we'll be talking about Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view tonight. Who walked out and survived the fight without honor, and also who walked out of DBD with the Ring of Honor Championships. Also, we'll be talking about tonight's WWE Friday Night Smackdown featuring the Rules of Engagement, and AEW Rampage featuring Royal Rampage right here, right now. 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Hello, Wrestling Fanatics. Lance Brock here. Welcome to 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Thank you for tuning in tonight, wherever you are listening, either on Spreaker, YouTube, or whichever podcast or website app or podcast app you listen to on. And thank you for tuning in on this episode tonight. 452. Got a few shows to talk about tonight. First, the Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view and WWE Friday Night Smackdown, AEW Rampage. But first, I just want to say and kind of apologize if I missed anything. I decided tonight, instead of watching all three shows separately and staying up late like last Saturday when Slammiversary and Collision were on at the same time. And in case you listened to that episode, you probably heard how tired I sounded. So I tonight decided to watch two shows at once. I watched Smackdown and Rampage while the Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view were going on. So like I said, I was trying to watch both at the same time, or all three, but it was two at once though. So I apologize in case I missed anything from either Smackdown, Rampage, or Death Before Dishonor tonight. And let's start things off with the pay-per-view tonight, Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. First, I just want to say I think I was a little confused this morning because I saw how Ring of Honor announced that it would be available on Honor Club, but I thought that it meant only Honor Club online, but I'm guessing that it was still available on Bleacher Report and all the other websites, Fight TV, YouTube, ppv.com, internationally. I just got a little mixed up. I thought since they said it was going to be on Honor Club that it might not be on the other websites. But I'd still say that if they're going to have the pay-per-views on Honor Club, that they should probably have a little cheaper price for the Honor Club subscribers. It was $39.99 on traditional pay-per-view. So maybe they could just have it for only $19.99 or maybe even $24.99. And I'm sure if they did offer that, even though Ring of Honor only has a few pay-per-views a year anyway, that might get some more subscribers if not only do they have access to the weekly TV show and what's on Honor Club anyway, but get the pay-per-views for a cheaper price too. That might get some more fans to subscribe. And another note here, since I was watching, or multitasking I guess you could say, with all three shows tonight, the only matches that have the ratings were the pay-per-view matches, because I'd say I was trying to pay more attention to Death Before Dishonor. And let's get into it. Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor was live from Trenton, New Jersey at the Cure Insurance Arena. And our commentators tonight, Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman. And we start things off, Gravity taking on Commander. Really good match here. Definitely enjoyed this one. I'd say if you're a fan of Lucha, you would definitely enjoy this one. I recommend checking it out. I'd say 3.5 out of 5 ring bells for this one. And it is announced, Ian Riccaboni gets word from Tony Khan that this Wednesday night on Dynamite, Gravity will be taking on Pac. And of course, everybody was making jokes about Pac not forgetting about Gravity. And our next match is for the Ring of Honor Television Championship, and it is Dalton Castle who got this title match by defeating Shane Taylor on Ring of Honor on Honor Club last night, taking on Samoa Joe. Of course, Dalton Castle is accompanied by the boys. Pretty good match here, and at one point the boys do roll Samoa Joe back into the ring to assist Castle, and Ring of Honor Board of Directors member Stokely Hathaway is on commentary with Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman. Joe goes over to him. He tells him to do something about it. So Stokely Hathaway has the boys ejected from ringside. That distracts the referee long enough for Samoa Joe to hit a low blow and then to kick in a clutch on Dalton Castle, getting the submission win to retain the television championship. I'd say 3.5 out of 5 ring bells for this one. The Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships are on the line next, and it is Best Friends, the Kingdom Aussie Open, and the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Brothers. Really good match here. Definitely all 4 of these tag teams put a lot of effort into it and had really a good match here. Definitely entertaining. I definitely recommend, if you missed this one, definitely check it out on the replay if you can. And the finish sees Kyle Fletcher pin Trent Beretta to get the win for Aussie Open and win the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. So we have new champions in Aussie Open. Once again, really good match here. I'd say 4 out of 5 ring bells. And next up, we have a 6-man tag. Master Wato, Taguchi, and Leon Ruffin taking on the Mogul Embassy. Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony. Mogul Embassy is victorious here. I would say this was a real spectacular match here, but not too bad. I'd say 3 out of 5 ring bells. And next up on Death Before Dishonor, it is now time for the Ring of Honor Pure Wrestling Championship match under Pure Wrestling rules. We have Kazutori Shibata taking on the challenger Daniel Garcia. Fantastic match, I just want to say. This one had a lot of great wrestling from both Shibata and Daniel Garcia, who again has been kind of going back and forth whether if he's a sports entertainer or a pro wrestler. But this one, he definitely did a lot of good pro wrestling in. But it is Shibata getting the win in this one, defeating Garcia to retain the Pure Championship. Again, really good match here. Definitely enjoyed this one. I'll give it 4 out of 5 ring bells. And next up is our Fight Without Honor. And at this time, I just want to say I was mostly paying attention to this match, but I did notice on Smackdown at the time, this was the rules of engagement segment with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. So I also kind of wanted to pay attention to that as well. But I did catch most of this Fight Without Honor. The Righteous, Vincent Dutch, and Stu Grayson taking on Dark Order, Evil Uno, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds. And this one was definitely a brutal, violent spectacle and had weapons. John Silver at one time got a 2x4, but then we see Dutch kind of counter that with not only a 2x4, but a 2x4 with barbed wire. And we have thumbtacks in this one. It's bloody. Dutch is busted open, and so is Alex Reynolds. And we get some thumbtacks in this one. We get a bag of Legos. And even Evil Uno has his mask ripped and is busted open. And in the end, the finish of this one, we see 3-on-1 Dark Order and former Dark Order member Stu Grayson, who at this time kind of sacrifices himself to the Dark Order and allows them to hit the powerbomb on the thumbtacks and the Legos to pin them and get the win. So Dark Order victorious in this Fight Without Honor. I'm interested to see what's going to happen next going forward in the storylines on Ring of Honor, on Honor Club with Stu Grayson. Will he stay with the Righteous, or could he possibly get back with Dark Order? Also, now what's going to happen with the Dark Order storyline with Hangman Adam Page on Dynamite as well. We'll just have to wait and see. And now it is time for the Ring of Honor World Championship match. Pac challenging Claudio Castagnoli. And like I said, even though this match was made just a couple days ago and didn't have any build, still was looking forward to it. And these two, just like I expected, had a really good main event. I'd even say a great match between these two. And we even see the swing up on the stage. And Pac get press slammed through a table from the ring to the floor. And it looks like Pac could be close to the victory to become the new Ring of Honor World Champion. But then we see interference from Blackpool Combat Club member Wheeler Yuta, who attacks Pac, and then Claudio hits the Ricola bomb to get the win and defeat Pac and retain the Ring of Honor World Championship. Once again, great match here. I'd have to say 4.5 out of 5 ring bells. I really enjoyed this one. Still Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli. Definitely interested to see now who his next challenger will be. Could it possibly be Eddie Kingston? I'm sure after he's done with the G1, they might, and when he gets back to the United States, they might put him in contendership for the title. Possibly also Mark Briscoe, who was then supposed to replace Eddie Kingston in the world title match, but then unfortunately was injured, so was not able to. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him get a future title shot as well. And now our main event of Death Before Dishonor. We have the Ring of Honor Women's Championship on the line. The Ring of Honor Women's Champion Athena defending against Willow Nightingale, the winner of the Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament. And this one, great main event. Willow Nightingale definitely has been impressing me for quite a while now on Ring of Honor and AEW programming. Former NJPW Strong Women's Champion, the Owen winner on the women's side this year, and definitely Athena has definitely been hot lately as Ring of Honor Women's Champion. She's been having a lot of great matches on Ring of Honor on Honor Club, either in the Proving Ground matches or title matches, defending against anybody they put up against her. This match was really good tonight. I thought great main event. It looked like there were times Willow could have got done, but in the end, Athena locks in the crossface. Willow does not tap out, and a couple times it looks like she's going to be able to maybe counter and get a roll-up, but Athena keeps the crossface locked in. Willow passes out and there's a referee stoppage. So still Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena. But good effort from Willow Nightingale. Again, great main event. I definitely enjoyed it. I'd have to say 4 out of 5 ring bells. So that was tonight's Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. I thought it was a really good show, and I'd have to say 8 out of 10 ring bells overall. Sorry if you disagree with me about that, but that's what I'd have to say about it overall. And now let's go over to FS1. I think I forgot to mention that this morning on Good Morning Wrestling Fans, actually, but tonight I'm not even sure what was on Fox, but I know Friday Night Smackdown was on FS1 tonight. And live from Orlando, Florida. And we start things off with the 4-way in the Intercontinental Championship to see who will face Santos Escobar next week to get the title shot. We have Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, Cameron Grimes, and LA Knight. And like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I was more so paying attention to Death Before Dishonor. But what I saw here looked like a pretty good match. We see Rey Mysterio get the win. And will face LWO member Santos Escobar next week on Smackdown for the title shot. And Charlotte Flair is in action against Io Sky and gets the win, defeating Sky. And then after the match, we see Asuka attack Charlotte Flair. And speaking of Santos Escobar, he defeats the United States champion tonight, Austin Theory. And the new NXT North American champion, Dirty Dom, Dominic Mysterio, defeats Butch. And the main event segment for tonight's SmackDown, the rules of engagement. Like I said, I was more so watching the Fight Without Honor while that was going on tonight. So I didn't hear all of it. And then I know it ended with the match being made official for SummerSlam for the Undisputed Universal Championship. Roman Reigns taking on Jey Uso. And what I heard Michael Cole say is also it might be that the tribal chief status might be on the line as well. And then I saw Solo tip the table over and go to give Jay the Samoan spike, and then Roman stops him, and then Jay hits Solo with the super kick. So it is official now, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso for the Universal Championship August 5th at SummerSlam. And now we go over to TNT for AEW Rampage, which was taped last Wednesday in Boston at the TD Garden. And we start things off with the Royal Rampage, the second Royal Rampage in AEW history. And I did get, or at least I think I did get all the entries in this match. Not the eliminations, I didn't put those in my notes, but I think I got all the entries. I apologize if I missed any. Here's who's in this match. Jay Lethal, Swerve Strickland, Darby Allin, and Nick Wayne start in the two rings. And this year we have a red ring with red ropes and a blue ring with blue ropes. And then next out is Brian Cage, All Ego Ethan Page, Commander, The Butcher, Big Bill, The Blade, Toa Leona, Matt Sydal, Isaiah Cassidy, Bishop Khan, Matt Hardy, Daddy Magic Man Menard, Jeff Jarrett, Cool Hand Angelo Parker, Jake Hager, and the final two in Royal Rampage are Darby Allin and Swerve Strickland. Darby Allin gets the win here and will receive a title shot at All Out in September. So it looks like I did try to pay attention to quite a bit of it here, but it looked like a very good match. And Darby Allin getting the win. And we have a trios match. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn taking on QTV. Billy Gunn pins Aaron Solo to get the win for himself and the Acclaimed. And in the main event of Rampage tonight, Chris Statlander defeats the Problem Marina Shafir to retain the AEW TBS Championship. So that was Rampage and Smackdown. What I saw of them, I did try to watch mostly, but they were both pretty good shows tonight. I don't know if I'd say real great. So overall, Smackdown, Rampage, and Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor, I'd say we did have some pretty good wrestling on this Friday night. And one thing that I just thought was kind of funny, that on Rampage they did have some of the same wrestlers that were also on Death Before Dishonor tonight. So if for some reason there wasn't anybody that didn't know, that maybe a casual fan that didn't know that Rampage was taped Wednesday night would be thinking that they were in two places on the same night. And once again, I just want to say I thought it was pretty neat that Athena and Willow closed the pay-per-view tonight. And that is all for this episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, episode 452. Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Luckily, not too late. Have a busy day tomorrow. And then tomorrow night also have AEW Saturday Collision. And remember, if you have any questions, comments, or you could leave your feedback on Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor, Friday night Smackdown, and AEW Rampage in the comments section, either on Spreaker, YouTube, or whichever podcast, website, or app you listen to on. And hope to have a new 360 Wrestling Fanatic tomorrow night, recapping tomorrow's AEW Saturday Collision. But we'll be back tomorrow to preview it in the morning for the Saturday episode of GMWF. And that's all for tonight. I will talk to everyone tomorrow morning. Hope everyone has a great night and enjoyed Death Before Dishonor, Smackdown, and Rampage tonight. I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.